law and cultural diversities do play a role. Your thoughts on that, even as you react to that particular clip that we've watched?
A part of my project is to introduce some of these bodies that most most victims are not even aware of. If I've done my research, and I can tell you there are so many people who do not even know what FIDA is all about. And also, and I'm telling you, I've been to their offices, and I can tell you those people are really welcoming, they're warm. They have a way of creating a very nice environment for all these people who are abused, all the women, and they deal with women. Let's just look at it. Mostly,
of course, a majority are women.
Yes, majority are women. So most people don't even know where to start. For instance, I'll give you a case of, let's say a woman has been abused physically, everything has been taken away from her. First, they don't even know that when you go to FIDA, I think they only charge 500 shillings for opening a file, and actually don't even pay immediately. And every other service that you get from FIDA is actually on pro bono basis. And they connect you with a lawyer who is going to take up your case and to take your case, let's say, to court if that is where it's supposed to go. Or if you need to pick up a mediator, they give you a mediator on pro bono basis. So these are the things we actually need to let these victims know, that there's actually a way you can get justice after being abused. Now, it comes to cultural practices. I'd say we are to blame, especially the people, when I say we, I mean as the adults who are actually aware that these cultural practices are actually going to have a negative impact, especially on the abused and the victims. So it is for us, and I'm a parent, so it is for me to stop it at where it is now. If when I was being brought up, I believed that when you get married, you're supposed to be beaten as a sign of love, I have to decide that it has to stop it now. Because you see, I can't just stand for women, because I have a son, I have a daughter. So I have to make sure that my son grows up knowing that it is wrong to abuse a woman. My daughter grows up knowing it is wrong to be abused, and you need to stand up for your rights. And
each one of them needs to know their gender rights.
Yes, their gender rights.
Gender rights.
Yes, because people don't know their rights. Women do not know their rights. They do not know that you can actually stand up and, let's say, because I said abuse is not just physical, it's emotional, it's mental, it's financial. You need to know that it is your right to stand up and say, for instance, sexual abuse, you cannot touch me. If without my consent. You need my consent to get intimate with me, for instance. So they need to know where their rights starts. And I think that's the beginning of everything. So when it comes to, let's say, because there is also at the workplace, there are people who are being abused by their bosses in exchange of promotions. And you feel like, okay, maybe it's true, I need to forcefully have sex with this person because maybe I need a promotion. You don't understand that maybe you actually have qualified, but you do not know that it is your right to get that promotion without necessarily having to give favors or pay in kind to get that promotion. And
forever you'll be at their mercy.
Yes, you're going to be at their mercy because you have to keep being subjective to everything they want. And guess what? When your time comes to go, you leave, they take up somebody else, they do the same, and the cycle continues. So it is for us to stop. If it happens to any of you, any of us, we stop it even as it is. I've seen people, and I love when I see organizations firing people for practicing this kind of abuse at the workplace. Even people in very senior positions. And that's why it starts at the workplace, it goes to the public spaces, because sometimes you've seen even in matatus somebody being abused, and the reason is you're wearing a short skirt.
Sadly, even in a public service vehicle.
Yes, you're wearing a short skirt, that way you're abused. And you find that nobody's standing in for you because why did you wear that short skirt? No, it's not about the skirt. It's about that person who has immoral minds, you know? And maybe they are made to believe that when you see a woman dressed in a certain way, you can abuse them. So it's really all of us. So it takes us who are adults and properly understand what the rights are. You get to know your rights as a man, I get to know my rights as a woman, and we tend to communicate this to society because not everybody understands.